Well, a lot of bad, right? A lot of bad. We started fouling right off the bat. I think they were in the bonus at 9:39 or something. So it was a bad start, and then a bunch of turnovers. Right? I think we turned it over 3 straight possessions and committed 3 or 4 straight fouls. Just set the tone for a really bad quarter.
I guess it was a high turnover game for you guys. Like, what do you think? Was there anything specifically that Toronto did that maybe caused that? Or?
I mean, they certainly have some length, right? And but I just, I don't know what, I gotta look at it on tape. But for me, it was just we just weren't quite spaced where we should have been. Threw it kind of right into some denial lanes that if you move them up higher, they're probably not denial lanes anymore. Or if you back cut them out, somebody else come and replace. It's probably a pretty easy pass. That was most of it. I thought when we drove the ball, we stopped way too early before we got deeper in the paint. And that's kind of like you stop at the elbow and not putting enough pressure on them to make a decision with the big for the dump off or the kick out. We had a few, but we should have had more. And then we're kind of throwing those lobs back, and those are like shot clock killers and potential pick sixes, right? Which is too bad. I'm not. Again, I didn't think it was. Give them credit because of their length and they got their hands on some balls, but I think we contributed to a lot of it. Yeah.
Nick, you guys have been very good on both ends in those 3-guard looks. Tonight, offensively, it still worked. Defensively, bigger challenge.
Yep.
Their size notwithstanding, what do you think you guys could have done better to cope with that out of those looks?
Well, I got to look at it, but I think that you're talking offensively or defensively? Yeah, I mean, obviously they were trying to post the mismatch, right? And we had game planned what we were going to do against it. I really feel like we made a good double the first time, quickly pulled all the way over to the corner. I just don't think we rotated back out there fast enough. I think it was a really short rotation, and we just didn't react quick enough, and that was kind of the killer. I think it was a 4-point game at the time. And then the second time down, we did rotate good, and they skipped it all the way across to the other side, which, again, it's a pretty long hang time pass, probably just the rotations. Guys were killing themselves out there, probably a little tired to make some of those plays. I think they got us on a Pirtle roll too, and it just was a look tired looking play to me live. I got to look on the tape, but the guys, I mean, I think they really did a great job to get themselves back in it, and I really thought we had all the momentum, and then just a couple big plays like that kind of broke our back at the end. Yeah.
No, sir. Anything on the Paul and Joel for tomorrow?
Not yet.
What was Jabari able to kind of find tonight?
Well, obviously he was really good on the glass, right? I think it was a lot of discussion on who was going to finish and all that kind of stuff as usual. But I think he I don't know what he had for numbers, but it sure felt like he had 5 offensive rebounds, 9 for the game. I think that was probably it. He was really 9 rebounds in 23 minutes. I think that was probably it. And he had a couple putbacks as well. So he gave us some size on Barnes and Ingram as well.
DJ started 0 for 6, but he still ended up, having a big impact on this one. I guess what does that kind of say about his mentality and resolve and things like that?
Yeah, again, glad he got into the game. It's a long game. He's got to, always stay aggressive. I'm pushing him to be more aggressive, open floor. He drives like he's got some openings to turn the Jets on, right? And I think we got some upside there coming with some of that stuff, right? But I think again he hangs in there. I thought he made some really good, in the good stretch defensively. He was in the middle of some of that stuff, knocking the ball away and coming up with them and all that stuff. But yeah, played pretty good.
I'm sorry. We got the news that Kelly's going to be reevaluated in 2 weeks. I guess without him, what are you kind of missing when he's not on the floor?
Well, Kelly's had a great start to the year, right? Just kind of all over the place, and I think probably the biggest thing we're missing is his tenacity on defense and his willingness to take the challenge of a really good player quite often. Most nights, for sure, right? And then again, I think he's also got some. He's got some scoring pop that can get us out of some scoring droughts sometimes with, some of his drives down the middle, left-hand pull-ups. And then, some nights he got the three ball going, and that's like the really good nights that he has from the scoring aspect. So miss all that stuff. Heavy minute guy too, right?
You long preached with Tyrese to be aggressive and stay aggressive. And in the first quarter, he did a really good job of leveraging his deep range to get into the driving lanes and whatnot. I guess when you see a quarter like that, is that kind of what you envision for him being at his most aggressive, or do you think he can get even further than that?
Yeah, but that was about as aggressive as he could be, I think. I mean, I think he was doing it all in the at the start of the game, right? And I mean, I don't think that's near enough shot attempts for him tonight. I mean, obviously they were plugging and they're doing some late double teaming on him, certainly plugging the paint with some guys, and we didn't quite find some of those kickouts till like late, like in the fourth. I don't even remember some of the ones where he sees the dud and he's just zipping it over to the nearest high slot guy, we call it, and that guy was putting banging some threes, and that's just the play because they're sending two at him. He was making a lot of good plays, and that's that's what we're going to see. We're going to see a lot of double teams on him, and we got to make the right plays.
Going back to
Last question.
Kelly a little bit. How
Yep.
much did you miss him on Brandon tonight?
Well, I think we missed him, right? I think so. I mean, it's a tough one. I think that we're probably going to have those three guards out there, right? So, one of them's going to end up on one of those two guys in a lineup like that. I mean, I'd love to go back and play those two possessions over and play him straight up and see if he's going to make the turnaround jumper or get fouled or whatever he does. And they we knew it was coming. They play through him late, right? They go to a couple variety sets to get him the ball, and I mean, it was close, man. I thought he looked pretty shaky getting those out of there, and I thought we had a good trap on him, but he got him out both times without us getting a piece of him. Yeah.